Coming up next on Locked On Devils, can the Diablos move their winning ways to 7 straight? Or will the hockey club from San Jose turn them into shark bait? Cue the intro.
You're Locked On Devils, your daily podcast on the New Jersey Devils.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. My name is Zach Berman. I am the host of Locked On Devils, and thank you for making us your first listen every day for all things New Jersey Devils. The 6-1 Metropolitan Division leading, or at least tied for the lead after Carolina won last night, or should I say the Hartford Whalers won last night against the Quebec Nordiques. Just to get a little bit off tangent for a second, I love that they're using the throwbacks, but especially for the Whalers and the Nordiques, I kind of, in a weird way, found it insulting. I know that the Avs have been doing the Nordiques thing for a little bit. I know the Hurricanes do Whalers night, but come on. I feel like there's a better way to honor the cities that you left. I don't know. I know that everyone's a sucker for nostalgia every day, and that's just the way things work, but I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I don't have mixed feelings about the New Jersey Devils right now. They are 6-1, like I've mentioned, 12 points, tied for first place in the Metropolitan Division with the Hurricanes and the 6-2 Pittsburgh Penguins. Who saw that coming? I did not. The Penguins won again last night, and they beat the defending champs in their own building. So, hey, how about the flightless birds from Yinzerland? It's been a good start for the Dan Muse era for the Penguins, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Devils Sharks. Tonight's game, 7 o'clock. You can get tickets on Game Time. You can watch them on either the Gotham app, ESPN Plus. If you're out of the area, I am not. I will be there. Got my tickets on Game Time. Or you can watch them on MSG Sports Network or NBC Sports Bay Area. The Devils are favored to win this game, as you'd probably expect over a 1-4-2 team. That has not been helpful the last 2 times San Jose has come to the Rock. We will break that down for you as well. But first and foremost, couple lineup notes as of practice that has taken place about half an hour ago. Jake Allen in net for the Devils, as expected. No Cody Glass again. We're going to hear from Sheldon Keefe at some point this morning on what his prognosis is. Looks like he's going to miss his second consecutive game with an upper body injury. Jacob Markstrom taking shots on net from Dave Rogalski, the New Jersey Devils goalie coach this morning. Good to see that he's getting close to coming back, which would likely send Nico Dawes back to Utica. The lines, otherwise, no changes from the game on Wednesday night. San Jose, they got their first win of the year last night in a 6-5 barn burner at Madison Square Garden, taking out the New York Rangers in overtime. How about Macklin Celebrini? And I'm going to gush over Macklin Celebrini plenty on this show. He reminds me in a lot of ways, of Sidney Crosby. Just wise beyond his years in hockey IQ, looking more and more like might be the next generational talent in the NHL. You can already see it, but 5 points yesterday, a hat trick, the first time Igor Shesterkin has ever given up a hat trick on home ice. And he punctuated it in overtime by setting up the game-winning goal by Will Smith. So I know a lot of Devils fans were worried coming in, and by a lot of Devils fans, I mean me and yours truly. Oh no, I don't want our win streak to be broken by the team that hasn't won yet. Good news. the Devils, if they lose tonight, they will not give the San Jose Sharks their first win of the year. And David Warsofsky, the Sharks head coach, did not have to sacrifice any of his children in the process. So congrats to him and his family. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, no, the Sharks are in a weird position right now because, and if you're a Devils fan, you know what this position is. The young talent, it's starting to emerge. Celebrini looks like the real deal. Will Smith, William Eklund, they look like they're going to be franchise cornerstones. Michael Misa, third overall pick. For whatever reason, I keep on thinking that he got picked above Frundell. No, he did not. But at the same time, the Sharks are certainly frustrating because they have the talent to win, at least at forward. The defense has been shaky, and the goaltending has been rough. If you're a Devils fan, does that sound familiar or what? Like, the young core is there, but they have to learn how to win. And sometimes that is the toughest thing when you're in the midst of a rebuild. It's only Warsofsky's second year. I'm not sure if he's the coach to get them there. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. The problem is the defense. I'm going off of last night's lines for the Sharks because they haven't skated in Newark yet, but Leddy and Iorio on the first pair, that's not particularly great. Didn't see Klingberg yesterday at the Garden. Not sure if he'll come back in tonight. Dmitry Orlov, now a second pairing defenseman for San Jose. No Shakir Mukhamadullin. He is hurt. So the former Devil that went to San Jose as part of the Timo Meier package, not going to be playing tonight. Couple vets rounding out the lineup for the forward core for San Jose. Former Devil Tyler Toffoli, who you get the feeling that could be a revenge game for him tonight. Alex Wenberg, former Ranger, former Columbus Blue Jacket. Jeff Skinner has made his way to San Jose, as well as the fourth line of Barclay Goodrow, Ty Dellandrea, and surprise Broadway nerd Ryan Reeves, who fought Matt Rempe yesterday at the Garden and injured Matt Rempe, took Matt Rempe out with an upper body injury he did not return from. Alex Nedeljkovic started last night in goal for the Sharks, so will be the former top pick by the Nashville Predators, Yaroslav Askarov, who will be in goal for the San Jose Sharks. Askarov, only 23 years of age, Russian national, 0-2-1 on the season. He has a save percentage of .838. He has not been particularly good, but he is young. He has talent to spare. I think a lot of people are like, oh boy, he could turn it on tonight. Would be a very Devils thing to happen for Askarov to come out and just be the second coming of Dominik Hasek out of the blue, but yeah, you never know. Like I mentioned, Sharks 1-4-2, got their first win yesterday. Standings-wise, they are no longer in the basement of the Pacific Division. That now belongs to the 1-6-1 Calgary Flames. Goodness gracious, what's going on over there? There is a big jump between the basement of the Pacific with San Jose and Calgary to then the teams tied for the next spot up. Vancouver and LA both have 8 points. San Jose behind them at 4. Of course, Vegas still leading the division, 12 points for the Golden Knights. And hey, maybe a surprise, the Seattle Kraken off to a 10-point start to their season through their first 8 games played. On the New Jersey side, like I've mentioned, Jake Allen expected to be in net tonight. Right now, the de facto number 1 for the Devils until Jacob Markstrom gets back. He is 3-0-0 with a .931 save percentage. He's allowing 1.91 goals against per game. He has been excellent. Last played on Tuesday in Toronto, where he was very, very good. So what do I think is going to happen tonight? Well, common logic would say the Devils win. I said they were going to lose on Wednesday to break the streak. They're going to have to lose at some point. So if I say they win tonight and they lose, that means that I'm 0-2 on game predictions. That would be not great. Hmm. You know what? I say it goes to 7. They will win tonight and break the San Jose curse at the Prudential Center, which has, over the last 2 years, resulted in 2 of the most infuriating hockey games to possibly be played at the Rock in recent memory. And you know what? Let's reopen some old wounds after we take a quick breather here on Locked On New Jersey Devils. Let's be real, making excuses doesn't solve anything. We've all heard them before. It's just stress. I'm tired. Or it happens to everyone sometimes, even Devils Sharks losses, as a matter of fact. But when it comes to performance, sometimes your body just needs a little extra support, and that's where Rougiette comes in. Rougiette.com offers fast acting, doctor prescribed prescription treatments for ED designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves. Rougiette makes it to get started. You just connect with a board certified doctor 100% online. No awkward waiting rooms, no in-person appointments. Visit rugiet.com/lockedonnhl to get 15% off your first order. That is rugiet.com/lockedonnhl. And don't forget to use our code LockedOnNHL so they know that we sent you. Rougiette, stop making excuses and start making moves. Today's episode is also brought to you by Game Time. Hockey season is officially here, and nothing beats being in the arena for those opening games. But let's be real, getting tickets can be a total headache between waiting in queues, surprise fees, and prices that jump right before checkout. It's easy to get frustrated when all you want to do is cheer on your team. That's where Game Time comes in, the app that gives fans the advantage. It's your ultimate life hack for scoring amazing NHL tickets fast, easy, and stress-free. I recently used Game Time to attend the game on Wednesday night. I've used them again for tonight's game. I will be in section 131, row 4 tonight. If you want to stop by, say hi. I will be in seat 13. Couldn't have been simpler. I had great seats in minutes. And I love that what I saw was what I paid. There were no hidden fees at checkout, and I could see exactly what my view looked like before I bought the tickets with their in-app seat view feature, just like I did for tonight's game. I found tickets for under $25. Take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL. $20 off your first purchase. Terms may apply. That is code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Welcome back to Locked On Devils. And you know what? It is time to reopen some old wounds involving previous Devils Sharks matchups at the Prudential Center. Of course, it all started the last time the Devils beat San Jose at the Rock was in 2022. It was a Saturday afternoon. They won 2-1. Dawson Mercer scored the game-winning goal. I don't even have to look up my notes for that because guess what? I was there and I remembered that game. Remembered it very well. But we're not here to talk about that game. We are here to talk about a game that was on December 1st, 2023. It was Shimon Nemich's NHL debut, and the New Jersey Devils hosted the San Jose Sharks. Devils, of course, in a season where they wound up missing the playoffs after coming in expecting to be Stanley Cup contenders. Didn't happen. But this, I think a lot of people look back to as the game where the 2023-24 New Jersey Devils were kind of having that, I don't think this team is that good. We might have to fire Lindy Ruff. They started Akira Schmidt on back-to-back nights, lest we forget. And despite outshooting the Sharks 47-18, they lost 6-3. That was San Jose's first road win of the year, which I was a little bit worried about that happening again tonight until the Sharks won at the Garden last night. Devils goals were scored by Dawson Mercer, Jack Hughes, and Andre Palat. Only one San Jose Shark that is still on the roster for the Sharks tonight scored in that game. It was an empty netter by William Eklund. Sharks goal scorers in that game, 2 from Anthony Duclair, 2 from Jacob McDonald, and then 1 apiece for Mikhail Granlund and William Eklund. The big story from that contest, and the one that everyone goes back to, remember Kaapo Kähkönen? New Jersey Devils legend? Played about a month and a half's worth of hockey with the Devils. I don't even know where he is in the league right now. I remember he was with Winnipeg, and then I think he was waived. He is currently under contract with the Habs. He is playing for the Laval Rocket. Played 6 games for the Devils, had a .923 save percentage. He was actually very good as a Devil. But this is just ridiculous. He started 31 games for the Sharks in 23-24, only won 6 of them, despite having a save percentage of .895, which is not great, but not horrible by any stretch of the imagination, especially with that defense. And in this game, Kaapo Kähkönen had 44 saves. In the third period, the Devils outshot the Sharks 23-7 and lost. Oh, yeah, I remember I was a sales rep for that game. I sold my first pair of season tickets that night. So it was a win for me professionally, but it was a loss for the Devils that really had everybody just thinking, oh my God, the sky is falling. And turns out the sky actually was falling because they were not a very good team that year, despite probably they should have been. And that game really cemented despite the Sharks being one of the worst teams in the league over the last few years, they might be a problem for us. And surely enough, that continued to next year, to the next year. We go to last year, Devils Sharks 2024, November 10th. And once again, the Devils get 40-plus shots on goal. Again, the San Jose goalie has 44 saves. If you're wondering, hey, how many did they put in if the Devils got 44 shots on goal and the Sharks goalie had 44 saves? Well, I'm glad you asked, because former Devil Mackenzie Blackwood, who we will not be seeing in Devils Avalanche on Sunday at the Rock, the Devils and Avs starting a home-and-home. Blackwood not on the Colorado East Coast swing. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw him Tuesday night in Denver, but Mackenzie Blackwood, his revenge game against the New Jersey Devils in Newark, shuts the Devils out. And to rub a little bit more salt in the wound, because why not? The only goal scored in the entire game was an own goal credited to Nico Sturm, put into the New Jersey Devils net by former San Jose Shark Timo Meier. So the Devils have lost their last 2 games against the Sharks at the Rock. They also got swept in the season series by San Jose last year. Cody Ceci, that Cody Ceci scored a fluky goal from the point that shouldn't have gone in. That was last January. Sharks won 3-2. That game really started the downslide, I think, last season. It has not been easy for the Devils against San Jose as of late, which is interesting because the Sharks are not one of the better teams in the league. So that's been It's been a little bit tough. But can things change tonight? You would hope so. But the one thing I am very confident in, and I will go off of my odds here from our friends at FanDuel, that former New Jersey Devil, they traded Yegor Sharangovich, who scored against the San Jose Sharks in that 2-1 game the last time the Devils beat San Jose in Newark. Yegor Sharangovich, part of that package to get Tyler Toffoli from the Calgary Flames. And tonight, Tyler Toffoli comes back to Newark as a member of the San Jose Sharks. Tyler Toffoli, right now, is plus 235 on FanDuel as an anytime goal scorer. You know, if I were a betting man, I'd say you should hammer that. But well, what do I know? One of the biggest mistakes, in my opinion, that Tom Fitzgerald has made as GM of the New Jersey Devils was not retaining Tyler Toffoli, trading him in a seller's market at the deadline. Would not have done that. And they miss him. They haven't really replaced him. And as good as this team looks right now, and they look really good, how much better would they be with Tyler Toffoli? And I know there was a lot of criticism saying, yeah, no, he wasn't fast enough. No, he was not fast enough to play in Lindy Ruff's run and gun, no defense whatsoever system. He fits what Sheldon Keefe is currently running like a glove. He would be perfect. And the Devils really do miss him. It's actually been a slow start for Toffoli this season. He's got 3 points in 7 games, 2 goals and an assist. And he is one of, like I've mentioned, 2 former Devils on the roster. Right now, we're only going to see Toffoli the one tonight because Shakir Mukhamadullin is out with an injury. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we return, we're going to talk about Devils Avs this weekend, because if you're new to the Locked On format, don't typically record on weekends. So it will be a preview of the Devils versus the former Quebec Nordiques, and that is coming up next on Locked On Devils. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you won't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. For example, if you are adamant that Tyler Toffoli will score a revenge goal against his former team in Newark tonight, he is plus 235 to do so. Put down those $5. If he scores, you will win $16.75 and $300 in bonus bets. I love how FanDuel gives me so many ways to play. I've built parlays, tried player props, and even followed the live lines during games. It makes watching any sport, football, hockey, baseball, World Series starts tonight, even more exciting when you've got a little something riding on the action. Whether you're a casual fan or love diving into the stats, FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Locked On Devils here, just wrapping up here on this Friday, October 24th. The Devils will be playing San Jose tonight, and then, of course, on Sunday. If you're sick of the Giants, if you're sick of the Jets, I don't know when the Jets are playing on Sunday. Are they playing on Sunday? Yes, they're playing 1 o'clock on Sunday. Also playing 1 o'clock on Sunday, excuse me, the New Jersey Devils and the Colorado Avalanche. You can find that game on NHL Network, MSG Sports Network, Altitude Sports if you're in Denver. And it should be a good one between two of the league's premier stars in Jack Hughes and Nathan McKinnon, as well as the Avalanche and their litany of top-line players. Marty Necas already has 6 goals, 6 assists. He leads the team in points, leads the team in goals, leads the team in assists. He's been en fuego. Cale Makar, you already know his deal. And like I mentioned earlier in the show, Mackenzie Blackwood out. Estimated return date would be on Tuesday. So Looks like we might be seeing him in the second half of the home and home at Ball Arena. Colorado has not lost a game at home yet this year. They're 5-0-3. And most pertinently for the Devils, they will be on the second half of a back-to-back. Sunday, they have a matinee in Boston tomorrow afternoon. You always do the lookout for the ex-Devils whenever they come up, one of those being Zakhar Bardakov, who was sent to the Avalanche in exchange for probably Tom Fitzgerald's worst acquisition as Devils GM, Curtis McDermott, who he then extended to a 3-year contract. Thankfully, that contract is off the books. Unfortunately, Bardakov feels like a lock to score, to say the least. It's always those revenge goals, man. But the one thing I do worry about with the Avalanche this year is their defense is not as deep as it's been in the past. Between Brent Burns coming in at age 40, yeah, we know he brings offense, but just shaky on the back end. Cale Makar and Sam Girard can only do, Devon Toews can only do so much. Nice to see Gabriel Landeskog back, one of my favorite players in the league, and just really cool to see the Avalanche captain back on the ice. Of course, Nathan MacKinnon, one of the best players in the world, centers the Avalanche, as well as Brock Nelson. Is it still? Hey, yeah, it is. It is Brocktober. So, former Islander will be back in the Metropolitan Division for a game, as well as New Jersey's finest Robbinsville native Ross Colton, who I actually wanted the Devils to trade for over the summer. That never came to fruition. So, if we're going to go for predictions, because here at Locked On, that's the business we're in, I'm going to say that the New Jersey Devils win tonight to take their streak from 6 to 7. Sorry, I had to do it. Before the streak gets snapped at 7 against the Avalanche on Sunday. I will be back Monday next week. Just a look ahead, I will actually be making the trip to the Bay Area to help, be making the trip to the Bay Area. If you don't already know, I do also write for New Jersey Hockey Now. I will be covering for James out in San Jose, so I will be doing some shows out from the Golden State. I haven't been to California in a while, so always going to be nice to get out to the West Coast. Excited to check another arena off the list. And we'll be running next week's episodes of Locked On Devils from the Bay Area. But until then, you guys have a lovely weekend. 2 Devils games. I'm a little bit nervous because my Missouri Tigers have a top 15 game against Vanderbilt on, should I say, tomorrow. College game days in Nashville. That's cool. I'm excited. And I will be out of commission for pretty much all of tomorrow. So do not call, do not text, do not tweet. But if you do tweet, follow me at Zach Brett Berman or Locked On Devils. All my socials, Locked On Devils. And of course, thank you to the best fans in the game for tuning in, watching, listening, wherever you may be. Let's go Devils. We'll see if the streak can get to 7 tonight, and have a wonderful weekend. Stay classy, Brick City.